Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Puja Aggarwal, MD. I'm a board certified neurologist, epileptologist, and a certified mindfulness coach. I help coach my clients on becoming more mindful through meditation and thought work. Now, I want to welcome you to this International Day of Calm. And in this talk, I am going to talk about how mindfulness and meditation or breath work can really help our brains to become more calm over time, more mindful, more self-aware, and how that can help us show up in our lives in a much better way. Now, our brains respond to habit. When we automatically get upset easily, we become angered, disappointed, or we have negative inner self-talk, our brains do that automatically. It's subconscious. So what happens is our brain forms neural pathways, or these are connections in our brain that go the route of negative talk or feelings of being upset, angry, disappointed. And when we do that consistently over time, those neural pathways or those connections become so strong that that's what we automatically do. So let's say, for example, if I were to get upset at my kids. I have two little kids and I have in the past gotten upset at them. And again, it happens sometimes now, but what I've noted is that I would easily get upset if they didn't follow directions that I wanted, if they didn't do things exactly when I wanted, or they were doing something that I thought was wrong that they shouldn't be doing. And that pattern became consistent in my life. It happened, sometimes daily, sometimes multiple times a day. And again, I'm sure you've all been there where your parents have little kids and you're thinking to yourself that, I wish you would just follow what I said, or I wish you would just follow what I asked. And really that then becomes a repetitive pattern in our brains because it's just something that we make a habit and our brains respond to habit. It becomes programmed behavior. And then again, when our kid doesn't follow what we want, we get upset at them. And then we yell. And again, that doesn't really work. Then our kids get upset. And then it's just this vicious cycle that continues. And, studies have shown that program behavior, again, affects kids and affects their lives. It affects how they think about themselves. It affects, if they're getting anxious, if they're getting anxiety or depression or different things like that, if they tend to worry. So really, it's really important that we as parents or even as people showing up in our lives become more mindful. And like I said, when you have that program response of becoming upset or angry, there's a certain part of our brain called the amygdala. It's our emotion center or feeling center. And that over time, when we have that chronic stress and we're more disappointed and angry, that part of the brain becomes enlarged. And what happens is then we have this flight or fight response with certain things that maybe are not as stressful, such as your kid not listening or some other situation. You tend to get upset more easily, angry, you yell, you scream. And again, then your kid feels it. They feel upset. They're kids. And again, this can happen in a lot of different situations. I'm just talking about kids here or being a parent here, but this could apply to any situation. It could be at work with colleagues. It could be with your spouse. It could be with family. That program response becomes so automatic that it just takes over. And sometimes when it's with their kids, it can also then feed in, it can go basically into other relationships with your spouse, colleagues, coworkers. And then this can also lead to more anxiety, depression, and that chronic stress. And then you're wondering, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I not a good parent? Or why am I not a good person? Why aren't my kids listening to me? Why is my spouse listening to me? Why isn't my coworker? What's wrong? Again, it's that amygdala that takes over, that becomes enlarged when you have this chronic stress and this chronic state of being upset or disappointed. And again, it is for some people natural to go towards that state, but again, it doesn't help you, doesn't help your child, it doesn't help other people around you. Because then you're showing up as angry, disappointed, and for some people that can change who they are. And, being a parent, being a person, showing up like that is not easy to do. It will affect you in the long term. Now, also when we are in that chronic stress state where we're constantly upset or angry, then there's another part of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, where we actually that causes some thinning of the brain. And what happens is that then you don't make judgments as well. And what we call your executive function doesn't play out very well. And what I mean by that is, let's say you are asked to you have to make a decision. And when you have that judgment, you may not make the decision or have the right answer when you're in that chronic stress state, or you're experiencing that being upset or angry. Again, that becomes a program response, and it can happen in multiple aspects of your life. Now, calm, mindfulness, meditation, which is just simple breath work, all of that will really help train your brain to change. Those can become automatic or patterned responses. Now, when I say mindfulness, what I'm talking about is really becoming more in tune in how you're showing up in your life, and also becoming more in tune with what you're thinking. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts in our brain, but how aware are we of what we're thinking and how we're feeling? When you're able to become more in tune with what you're thinking and how you're feeling, that can really help change your life. And I'm telling you, I've changed my life with mindfulness and meditation or breath work. For me, mindfulness included, and the steps that I took to become more mindful was journaling, putting down, what I'm thinking and what feeling that's causing me to feel really helped me become more self-aware. And it's something that takes time. You could journal even 5 to 10 minutes a day at the end of the day and just write down, what you're thinking, what you're feeling about the day. And that becomes a programmed or automatic response over time once you make it a habit. And habits take about 1 to 2 months to form. That is so important for how you're showing up in your life, that then over time you will have more self-awareness and more mindfulness. And then over time you can become more calm. Now, studies have shown that people who are more calm and practice meditation are able to make better judgments. They're able to function better in life. And, again, that anger, that disappointment, whatever it may be from, won't help you overall. It affects your thoughts about you. You're thinking, well, what's wrong with me? Why am I so angry? And, those thoughts then become kind of even more pervasive, and it's a vicious cycle. But again, like I said, studies have shown that mindfulness, becoming more self-aware in terms of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, can really change your life. And I myself have become more mindful. Again, I'm a neurologist, I'm a brain doctor, but this is something that really I realized through coaching helped change my life. And now I practice journaling daily. I practice gratitude, which is something I didn't used to do. And that really has helped change my life and give me a better perspective. Now with my kids, again, they're 7 and 6, I am so much more mindful, more calm. If they don't listen the first time, that's okay. That's a part of life. They're kids. Or if somebody, again, people aren't going to do what we want them to do, even kids. They're their own people. They have their own personalities. But that mindfulness has helped me to change who I am, help change my personality. Now, the other thing that I was mentioning about is meditation or breath work. Simple breath work, just being in tune with your breath in and breath out, can help you become more calm. And again, this takes just 5 minutes a day. You can do it consistently. And then again, once you make it a habit, do it for at least a month. It's something that your brain will automatically start to do. And like I mentioned earlier, studies have shown that there's people who are more mindful and practice meditation, then that amygdala or that emotion center becomes more calm over time. And then you're able to control your emotions in stressful situations versus before you may not have been able to. And then also with the studies showing that people who are more calm or practice meditation or mindfulness, there are certain parts of the brain that have lit up on something called the functional MRI, which lights up when certain parts of the brain are used, have also shown that this prefrontal cortex, or part of the brain that deals with judgment, is also, it lights up, and it builds new neural pathways. So when people are more mindful, they meditate or they practice gratitude or journaling, you're building new neural pathways or new connections in the brain, that those connections then become stronger. And then those connections in the brain are old neural pathways of becoming upset, angry. Those then become weaker over time. And then what happens is you are more calm. You're showing up in your life in a different way. You are more present, whether it be at work, at home. And that self-awareness, that mindfulness and meditation can really help change your life. And it is so important that we become more calm. It will help you it'll help elevate your life. It'll help you with elevating your life at work, at home. You'll notice you have better sleep, better relationships all around. And it's so important that people become more mindful. And, a lot of people, I think with meditation, it's something that they're a little scared of doing, but really all it is paying attention to your breath, basically your breath in and your breath out. And just doing that for 5 minutes a day can over time help you become more calm, happier, and to get rid of if you have anxiety. And again, over time, you can build these new neural pathways that will really help change your life. And like I said, I'm a neurologist, I'm a brain doctor. I know all about the pathology of the brain, the neurons or the nerve cells. But again, that mind aspect and being more in tune with that really helped change my life. And I helped change my clients' lives through meditation, through mindfulness. And it really helps you to also know who you are and what you want out of life. And it can really, like I said, help change your life to become more calm. You'll become happier, sleep better, have better relationships, and show up better in your life. So again, I just want to reiterate the points that, getting upset then contributes to more stress and it causes changes in the brain where those patterns of behavior of getting upset easily, feeling disappointed, they then become such a pattern to program response that in situations where that may not need to happen, then that's the automatic response. But with mindfulness, meditation, being in tune with your thoughts and practicing breath work, that can help build new neural pathways then that make you more calm, have better mood, sleep better. All of that is so important then to how you show up in your life. And, if you're a parent, show up better with your kids. For me, I show up better with my kids now. I don't get upset as easily. I take that time with them. I mean, they're kids. Things happen. I'm showing up better at work. I'm showing up better in my life with my spouse. And again, that mindfulness and that meditation is so important to make that change. And I want you to pledge right now to this International Day of Calm, because it can really help change your life, help me change my life, and it's helped change my client's life. And again, it's so important that we take that pledge for that International Day of Calm. It will, again, like I said, help change your life. Thanks for listening.